Hello team, good afternoon. I wanted to send out this quick video tutorial, training, walkthrough of a sorts, just to follow up on the meetings that I've had with you all over the past 2 weeks, talking about how to actually do the coding for this corpus linguistics impeachment claims analysis. To start, I wanted to clarify a few things about the coding scheme document. For some reason, I had the labels for monetary direct and monetary indirect marked as, well, I can't remember, but it wasn't MD and MI like it should be. So I've corrected that here, and I've also corrected that on the Excel spreadsheet. So I'm going to be sending you an updated version of those with this video email. So please, refresh your versions. Just so we get the correct label for the subsection of monetary correct for everybody. Sorry about that. I'm not sure how I got the error in the acronym spelling, but anyway. And then I've also added what we're going to be talking about today to the Word doc, but I'll be using this note display to talk about it, just so it's a little cleaner than the Word doc. But everything that's here is in the coding scheme document as well. So I wanted to talk about just one more note about the senses and why I've decided on these ones for now. If you remember, if you were in the first group that met with me, we talked about some different definitions of bribery than what you're looking at now. But to me, this made more sense with what I was seeing in the data and consolidated some of the ideas that I also thought might be present. So we've got three main senses that I think will be present in the data. They may or may not be, but that's what the coding is for. We have the monetary sense, we have the political sense, and the generic. If we were to visualize the distinctions between these senses, we might look at a model of a circle and imagine that the center of the circle is an objectively accurate interpretation of the meaning of the word bribery, and that as we work our way out, we might approach an increasingly abstract, valent, or nebulous definition, which could be difficult to articulate, but nevertheless seems to persist in the data and in how we feel about the meaning of the word in the context of the corpus results. So the monetary is going to be that more precise, more identifiable, pretty clear in the data when they're talking about bribe as money. We have the two subsets of that, the monetary direct or the monetary indirect. Is it a liquid financial asset like cash or shares or raw resources and materials, or is it indirect financial compensation or benefit? Is it taxes on a competitor, or is it sparing your commerce from tariffs or things like that could be part of a bribe? Then moving out from the circle, we have political, which might be still clear. It's an understandable sense of the term, but it's not quite as precise or specific as the monetary. Political, we might have political support, which is trying to earn favor or influence for political ends, and political office will be specifically for securement of an office or using political office to bribe. And I have some examples here that might tease out some of the differences there. And then the most abstract version, the generic, you're going to have either generic tangible or generic abstract, where the tangible is a gift, a present, some kind of offering. It's very much like a direct monetary bribe, but it's maybe not necessarily relying on money or financial value, but again, some kind of gift or present or emolument or something. And the abstract version of generic would be the gesture or the promise, the commitment, the favor, something, an act or something that isn't quite as physical or tangible, but is still appears to be a bribe. So those are some of the different meanings that you might see there. Again, I've got some examples right here that I want to read through with you. If you were in that first group, like I said, you might see those previous definitions that we talked about with a physical or an abstract definition of bribery, you'll see that these are incorporated into these new senses, but I think in a way that makes a little bit more sense and is more coherent with the data. But we'll see what you guys find in your sample that you're coding. Here's an example for monetary indirect. It's talking about a king and how in general he might be more interested in the welfare of the country than any other individual, because the prosperity of the country tended to increase the luster of the crown, and a king could never receive a sufficient compensation for the sale of his kingdoms, for he could not enjoy in any other country so advantageous a situation as he permanently possessed in his own. Hence, kings are less liable to foreign bribery and corruption than any other set of men, because no bribe that could be given them could compensate the loss they must necessarily sustain for injuring their dominions. All right, so basically it's saying a king, out of his own self-interest, is going to want to make decisions that are benefiting his country because that's where he resides, that's where he governs, and so some kind of indirect monetary compensation isn't going to make up for him, causing his own domestic economy to suffer or something like that. So that's where we see it's not talking about, someone giving money to the king as a bribe, but it's talking about maybe foreign influence trying to give monetary compensation indirectly. So I think that was a good example of monetary indirect. This should say MI, not MA. Again, that error, I don't know why. I think it's because I'm thinking monetary abstract, but I mean monetary indirect. Okay, generic tangible. So here it says, this shall be the manner of the king that shall reign over you. He will take your sons and appoint them for himself, for his chariots, and to be his horsemen, and some shall run before his chariots. This description agrees with the present mode of impressing men. And he will appoint him captains over thousands and captains over 50s, and will set them to car his ground, and to reap his harvest, and to make his instruments of war, and instruments of his chariots. And he will take your daughters to be confectionaries, and to be cooks, and to be bakers. This describes the experience in luxury as well as the oppression of kings. And he will take your fields, and your vineyards, and your olive yards, even the best of them, and give them to his servants. And he will take the tenth of your seed, and of your vineyards, and give them to his officers and to his servants, by which we will see that corruption and favoritism are the standing vices of kings. And then it kind of goes on in a similar fashion. So, right, this is talking about a king, but it's not really talking about political influence. Okay, sorry, let me pause here and get the bird. Okay, sorry about that. So yeah, I think I covered the generic tangible example. So moving on, we've got political office. So this here, it's saying that it's resolved that no mayor can duly return himself a burgess to serve in parliament for the borough of which he is mayor at the time of the election. And then other resolutions were made against bribery at elections, that if any man gives victuals... Okay, hang on. Okay, so I'm going to start over with this source. So it's talking about how there's these resolutions passed to keep it so that no mayor can duly return himself a burgess to serve in parliament for the borough of which he is mayor at the time of his election. That other resolutions were made against bribery, that if any man gives victuals above 10 something value after the test of the writ of election, or after a place becomes vacant anywhere but in his own house, or who makes any promise or declaration before an election, it shall be punishable as bribery, the election void, and the candidate incapable of sitting by that election. So this seems to be talking about that, that promise or that expectation of receiving office through the means of election as part of a bribe. Or I looked up what victuals means, and that seems to be a reference to food or something. I'm not sure. Maybe we need a corpus analysis of what victuals is. So maybe you could look at the source and maybe think more about does victuals have something to do with monetary direct because it's saying it can't go above a certain value, or maybe this is we need to think about another sense that talks about generic tangible, but that does have to do with political office. I'm not sure. So I think this is an example of political office, but I think you could look closer at that to see what else is going on. Then we have something that I think could work as generic abstract or political support, and you'll have to kind of see where you land on that. Always, if you think there's two different senses that are working and you're not sure, you can always in the notes kind of put what you think your second choice would be. so that we see that there. But this talks about how he did not exactly know what was meant by the suggestion of our former tyrants, but he supposed it meant bribery, and that by perfidious people, I don't know if that's correct, General Washington was included. Mr. Nicholas was in favor of the amendment. He denied that suggestion could mean bribery, or that insidious persons could include General Washington. He hoped the gentleman would not thus mean it his business to hunt up for insults. So, this could go both ways. If it's talking about General Washington here in a political context, then it might be support. But I like that the mention of suggestions and how that's not bribery seems to talk about this generic abstract sense where bribery may or may not have to do with just that favor, that commitment, that gesture. And then this last one, it's short. Luxury, which renders the people weak at home and accessible to bribery, corruption, and force from abroad, could be talking about the generic abstract form again, or direct monetary, depending on what the meaning of luxury is in that source. So that's all the examples that I have. Use the updated spreadsheet that I am sending out to you guys. You'll see here that there's a column for the sense, so you can go through and analyze and, is it monetary direct? Is it monetary indirect? Is it tangible abstract? Is it, generic tangible, or is it generic abstract and the like? You can leave notes, you can highlight things. More is better. I hope that this has helped clarify any questions you have, explain what the senses are, and maybe where we're at with looking at them, and how to conceptualize the development of these senses. And I look forward to seeing what you all come up with. Thanks.